California, as I do now. I traded on the futures exchanges in New York and Chicago. It meant that I had to be at the office by 5:30 a.m. It meant I had to leave home before my children were ever awake. Craig said, I get to work when I want. I didn't. What Craig had was better than what I had. He got to work where he wanted, and he got to work when he wanted. I didn't. And then Craig said the big one for me, one of the big ones. He said, Randy, because I've succeeded in this industry, I get to work with whom I want. I didn't. I can tell you that in my relationships in the office, I can't say that I really had relationships. What I had was managed conflict. And the reason I had managed conflict, that's the truth, because we were so completely competitive one with another. I mean, my success almost had to come as a result of somebody else's failure. My results were being measured against everybody else in that shop, and the fact is that it was almost, it was very, very cutthroat. And when Craig said he got to work with whom he wanted, I didn't consider that. I wouldn't have chosen my boss, and I wouldn't have chosen almost anybody that I was interacting with on a daily basis. So Craig said, Randy, as a result of having succeeded in this industry, I get to work where I want, when I want, with whom I want. That was better. That was a whole lot better. And then he said the big one for me. He said, I also get to choose if I will work. I said, what do you mean you get to choose if I will work? He said, Randy, because I have set in motion a cascade of activities that has resulted in the creation of a large web of consumers on whose consumption and part-time efforts I get paid. He said, I have completely separated myself from a generation of income. He said, I get to choose if I will work. And if I don't work, I keep making money. That for me was absolutely magic. That was absolutely magic. Now at that point in time, I didn't contemplate the thought that my success could be born of other people's success. I didn't contemplate the thought that I could have a positive impact on other people's lives. I didn't contemplate any of that. I just said, you know what? He gets to choose where he will work. He gets to choose when he will work. He gets to choose with whom he will work. And he gets to choose if he will work. And as long as I stay a stockbroker, that's never, ever, ever going to become true for me. So for any of you who are wondering, should you be involved in the network marketing industry, I will tell you, 21 years later, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. And the things that Craig proposed to me as possibilities all those years ago have turned into realities for me. I'm always very careful when I talk about my own results, because who cares? Who cares what I've been able to accomplish? The question is, what can you accomplish? What can we accomplish together? But I will tell you that all those years ago, as I sat back in the back of the room, and I said yes, now all those years later, I can tell you that, believe it or not, I've earned more than $29 million in commissions since that time. About halfway through my career, I came upon the startling realization that making money and creating wealth had nothing in common. You know, $15 million into my career, I still had nothing. But I had some stuff, but I had no money in the bank. I had stuff, and I owed money for all the stuff. But about $15 million into it, I learned the difference. And now, 15 years later, I can tell you that I have a large pool of invested assets. I don't have any debt of any kind to anybody. And that I have a kind of personal freedom and enjoyment that I don't believe I ever would have had had I done something else. And in those now 21 years, it's not just what the financial outcomes have been, it's been the life that I have lived. You know, I've lived in Hong Kong, and I've lived in Tokyo, and I've lived in Israel. And, you know, my children and my wife and myself, we have had a quality of life that I don't believe would have happened any other way. And along the way, I've also, I can say with confidence that I have a totally different kind of relationship with so many more people than I ever would have had. My world was fairly small when I was a stockbroker. You know, today I think I could fairly say that I could be dropped off almost any place on planet Earth, and I could find myself in need of help, and there's somebody I could call and say, hi, it's Randy, and they'd say, oh, hi, Randy. You know, and they'd come and help me. Now, that's a magic thing for me. So, do I think you should be involved in network marketing? Yes. Am I telling you today that it's a fast, easy way to make money? Well, it's a faster, easier way, or I wouldn't be here. But is it a fast, easy way? No, that's not reality. And how quickly you'll have positive results, well, as I indicated, depend on a couple of things. It will depend upon where you start, because we don't all arrive here with the same set of life experiences, and will then depend upon your willingness to engage in a series of behaviors that have been proven to work. For some of us, we're going to have to unlearn some things and engage in a series of behaviors that have been proven to work. Well, that's why network marketing. I'm a staunch advocate of the network marketing industry. I believe that the fundamental principles which govern network marketing are superior to those that govern conventional business, and I could talk for a long time about just that. I love the industry. The industry was incredibly good to me long, long, long before MonaVie was ever born. Now that being said, within the industry of network marketing, I believe there are a host of good companies. I don't think there's only one or two. I think that there are several very, very good companies. I think Herbalife is a very good company. I think Nu Skin is a very good company. I think there are a group of very good companies in our industry. But I do think there's a difference in being a good company and a good opportunity. I also believe there's a difference in being an opportunity to create income and an opportunity to create wealth. The very fact of my standing here tells you that based on all that I know and have lived and understand and believe is that MonaVie is one of those companies within the industry that makes possible a profound outcome for you if the possibility is there. It's possible for you to have a profound outcome in MonaVie. The very fact of my standing here says that it's possible for you to have a profound outcome. Now I'll give you my quick viewpoint of what the elements are that are required for success in a network marketing company and help you understand why it's my estimation that MonaVie meets that standard. The first element that's required for success is a product that matters to people. And you know, we've recently introduced, or in the process of introducing, Reveal. And am I excited about Reveal? Yeah, I'm very excited about Reveal. I think Reveal is going to be a neat addition to our business. But I'll tell you that I am today, my commitment to MonaVie's ultimate long-term success remains tied to its foundation. And that foundation is a bottle of juice. I believe that weight loss is an extraordinary thing. But all those of you who are losing weight, you're helping the product work, aren't you? You're helping it work. You're really trying. You're really, really trying. The thing I love about the bottle of juice is I don't have to help it work. All I got to do is drink it. And because all I've got to do is drink it, that means that a whole lot more people, a much larger percentage of people, will have a positive experience. I'll tell you what has to be in place for a network marketing product to work. And in so doing, I'll have to borrow a little bit from my life experiences. When I first became a distributor in network marketing, it was with Nu Skin, many, many, many years ago. Today they sell a lot of stuff, but back then they just sold a handful of skincare products. Now somebody tell me, to whom would skincare, to whom would that message resonate? Men or women? Women. I'm not one. It was tough. I got to tell you, it was tough. The #1 selling product was called a facelift in a jar. What you're supposed to do is stir the stuff up. It didn't smell very good. And then what I was supposed to do, I was supposed to go to my circle of influence, which has always been dominantly men, and I was supposed to stir some up, put it on Frank's face. Just half of it. Just half. Wait for 30 minutes. And then wash it off. And at the exact right moment say, ooh, Frank, you look great. I don't know how that would work for you. For me, it was literally an impossibility. It was literally an impossibility. And so I learned how to build the business in spite of the product, not because of it. Now, what is the lesson? The lesson is that it was gender specific, and because it was gender specific, that was a limiting factor, right? That was a limiting factor. I'm a very slow learner. My next experience, by the way, if there's one thing about my career that I would change, it would be that 20 years ago, I had found a place like MonaVie that could buy me a permanent home and still be there. MonaVie didn't exist back then. A year and a half after I got involved with Nu Skin, they got sued by the United States government. They were claimed to be a pyramid. Now the fact is they won that litigation, and they went on to become part of the foundation of our industry, but I didn't have the staying power. I couldn't wait. My circle of influence was watching the litigation, and they couldn't join until it was over, and I couldn't wait. And so I got involved with a company called